Welcome to the Deep Dive, listeners. Seems like there's a ton of interest in Dogecoin right now. We've got a huge stack of articles and research for this deep dive. And wow, what a ride Dogecoin has had. It started as a joke, basically an internet meme, and look at it now. Billions of dollars in market cap.
It's a really great example of how value gets created these days. It's kind of mind-blowing, Community sentiment and internet culture actually driving the worth of something like this.
It's wild. So let's go back to the beginning. Dogecoin started back in 2013, right?
Yeah, 2013. Two software engineers, Billy Marcus and Jackson Palmer, created Dogecoin. It was sort of a commentary, a way to make fun of the whole cryptocurrency craze that was happening at the time.
I remember that. Bitcoin was starting to get some serious attention.
Exactly. So they used the Shiba Inu Doge meme as their mascot. I mean, they were really leaning into the joke, didn't expect it to take off at all.
I bet they were surprised.
Oh, absolutely. Their website had something like 1 million visitors within a month of launching. And from there, this whole community, they call themselves Shibes, started forming around this, fun, lighthearted coin.
So early Dogecoin wasn't really about, making money or investing.
No, not really. It was much more about the community and just kind of messing around, Small, almost symbolic transactions, sending little bits of Dogecoin back and forth.
Right, tipping online.
Exactly.
Yep.
It was a currency, but for the internet, fueled by memes and, just good vibes. Totally different from Bitcoin, which everyone was calling digital gold back then.
So it was the fun cryptocurrency.
Totally.
Yeah.
The Dogecoin community was all about having a good time. And you know what? They actually did some good in the world, too. Remember the Jamaican bobsled team?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Remind me.
So Dogecoin enthusiasts raised thousands of dollars in DOGE to help them get to the 2014 Winter Olympics.
What?
Yeah. And they also funded clean water projects in Kenya, really solidified this image of Dogecoin as a force for good, a real contrast to the sometimes cutthroat world of cryptocurrency.
So fast forward to 2020 and things kind of explode, right? Dogecoin goes from this niche community coin to one of the top cryptocurrencies in the world. What changed?
Well, a few things happened at the right time, I guess. First, memes. They were everywhere. And Dogecoin, with its built-in shareability and that iconic Shiba Inu, it was perfect for the meme world.
Right. I remember there was even that TikTok challenge.
Oh, yeah, where everyone was supposed to buy $25 worth of Dogecoin and try to pump the price up to $1.
And it kind of works.
It did. Dogecoin's price and trading volume just went through the roof. Crazy, right? That's the power of going viral these days.
So memes definitely played a part. What else?
Celebrities, people like Snoop Dogg, Gene Simmons, even Mark Cuban started talking about Dogecoin.
That must have made a difference.
Huge. Their endorsements, even if they were sometimes joking, it gave Dogecoin a sense of legitimacy. And when someone like Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, starts accepting Dogecoin for merchandise, people notice. Plus, you got to remember, the price of Dogecoin was so low you could get thousands of them for not a lot of money, especially appealing to people new to crypto.
That's a good point. It felt more accessible. You didn't need a ton of money to get involved.
Exactly. And that fueled the dream, right? The dream of Dogecoin hitting $1.
I mean, that would be incredible. From a fraction of a cent to $1.
Talk about a return on investment. And that kind of hope, that potential, it drew a lot of people in, especially during those uncertain times back in 2020 and 2021.
It's like a lottery ticket almost. But we can't forget the biggest Dogecoin influencer of all. Elon Musk.
The Doge father himself. Yeah, you can't deny his impact on Dogecoin. It's massive.
I mean, every tweet, every meme he posted about Dogecoin, the market reacted. It was crazy.
It really showed the power of one person in the crypto market.
And let's not forget, he put his money where his mouth is. Tesla started accepting Dogecoin for merchandise, and SpaceX even launched that DOGE-1 mission to the moon.
Yeah. It was like everything he touched turned to memes and money. But for investors, it was a roller coaster. His tweets could send the price soaring 1 minute and plummeting the next. It was a wild time, especially during that crypto bull run of late 2020 and early 2021.
So we've got this incredible rise of Dogecoin, fueled by memes, a passionate community, and Elon Musk. It's a wild story. But how did it impact the rest of the cryptocurrency world? Did Dogecoin change the game?
Oh, it definitely had a ripple effect. The biggest thing, it gave birth to the era of meme coins. Everyone was trying to create the next Dogecoin, hoping to capture that same magic.
Shiba Inu, right.
Shiba Inu, exactly. It even joined Dogecoin in the top 10 cryptocurrencies for a while. It's proof that internet culture can really drive investment, even in the, often serious world of crypto.
It made crypto more approachable, Less intimidating.
More fun, definitely, and way more
Yeah.
unpredictable.
It's crazy to think that for a while there, Dogecoin was actually the most searched cryptocurrency in the US, even more than Bitcoin. It really captured the public's imagination.
And it brought in a wave of new investors, lots of them drawn to the low price and the meme-driven hype. This influx of new users onto platforms like Robinhood and Coinbase, it led to more trading volume, more attention, more money flowing into the crypto space in general.
So Dogecoin, in a way, it was a gateway,
Yeah, a gateway for people to enter the wider world of crypto.
which honestly can be pretty confusing and intimidating.
For sure, Dogecoin was less intimidating, more relatable, and let's face it, way more entertaining than some of the other cryptocurrencies out there.
I mean, who doesn't love a good dog meme?
Exactly.
No, yeah.
It was like, hey, come on in, the water's fine. And some people dove right into the deep end of crypto after that.
I love that. Come on in, the water's fine. That's a great way to put it. But this whole Dogecoin phenomenon, it wasn't just about fun and games, was it? It also brought some serious attention from regulators.
Yeah, that's true. All this activity, all this money flowing around, it caught the eye of the authorities.
And Dogecoin's price, it seemed to really reflect the overall mood of the crypto market. When Dogecoin was booming, the entire market was usually in a good mood. And when it crashed, well, that was a sign that things were cooling down.
Yeah, Dogecoin was like this emotional barometer for crypto.
Interesting. But with all this attention, did Dogecoin itself ever get in trouble with regulators?
It's actually kind of surprising, but Dogecoin itself managed to avoid being classified as a security by the SEC.
That's interesting. How did they get away with that?
Well, it seems like the SEC's position is that truly decentralized meme coins like Dogecoin, which didn't have an initial coin offering, ICO, or a central party profiting from its creation, they don't fall under their definition of a security.
So they were basically like, it's just a meme, let it be.
Kind of, yeah. But that doesn't mean they're ignoring it completely. They're still keeping an eye on it, especially the risks associated with meme coins. You know, their volatility, the potential for market manipulation, all that stuff.
Okay, so Dogecoin gets a pass, at least for now. But this whole meme coin thing, it really pushed the conversation about cryptocurrency regulation forward, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Regulators all over the world, they had to confront this new reality of meme-driven investing. It wasn't in the textbooks. They had to figure out how to protect investors caught up in the hype and how to deal with the potential for abuse.
Dogecoin, even though it was meant to be a joke, it really shook things up. So before we dive into the regulatory landscape, I'm curious about what's been happening with Dogecoin more recently, especially in 2024. Did it fade away after that wild ride a few years ago?
Not at all. Dogecoin is a survivor. After the craziness of 2021, it kind of stabilized, traded between 6 and 10 cents for a while. But then towards the end of 2024, something interesting happened.
Ooh, now I'm really intrigued. What happened?
Well, it kind of had a resurgence. Dogecoin saw a real surge in price towards the end of 2024. It hit its highest price in over 2 years, actually broke through 20 cents in November, and even peaked at around 33 cents.
Wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
What do you think caused that sudden comeback?
It seems like a few things came together at the right time. The overall crypto market was already on an upswing. You know, Bitcoin was hitting new all-time highs, and there was this feeling that crypto-friendly policies were gaining some traction.
Right, especially after the U.S. presidential election.
Exactly. The winning candidate was seen as pretty pro-crypto, so it kind of boosted confidence in the market. Dogecoin, always sensitive to, shifts in sentiment. It benefited from that renewed optimism. Plus, don't forget Elon Musk. He was back in the headlines with this kind of satirical proposal for Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. I mean, it was obviously a joke, but, it kept Dogecoin in the public eye.
Right, right. So it sounds like a mix of market trends, political events, and maybe a little nudge from Elon Musk helped fuel Dogecoin's resurgence. It's still a force to be reckoned with, I guess. But what about its use beyond just speculation? Are people actually using Dogecoin to buy things these days?
We've definitely seen a pretty significant increase in the use of Dogecoin as a payment currency in 2024. More and more businesses are accepting Dogecoin payments either directly or through those platforms like BitPay and Coinbase Commerce. As of late 2024, there were over 2,500 merchants worldwide accepting Dogecoin, which is a huge jump from previous years.
Are there any big names on that list of merchants? Anyone we would recognize?
Well, the Dallas Mavericks are still accepting Dogecoin for merchandise. You can buy some stuff from Tesla's online store with DOGE, and even Newegg, the electronics retailer, has started accepting Dogecoin.
So Dogecoin is becoming more legitimate then, a real payment option.
It's definitely heading in that direction. The Dogecoin Foundation, they're doing a lot of work to improve DOGE's utility and scalability. They've got projects like Dogebox to help businesses accept Dogecoin payments more easily, and they're working on making Dogecoin easier to integrate into different apps and platforms.
It sounds like they're building the infrastructure for wider adoption. That's great. But with all this talk about cryptocurrency, we can't avoid the question of regulation. What does the regulatory landscape look like for Dogecoin right now?
That's where things get interesting. Despite all the stricter regulations in the crypto space, Dogecoin has actually managed to avoid a lot of scrutiny from regulators like the SEC.
The SEC?
Yeah.
Really? I'm surprised. Did they just kind of overlook Dogecoin?
Not exactly. It seems like their position is that truly decentralized meme coins, like Dogecoin, which didn't have an ICO or a central party profiting from its creation, they don't fall under the SEC's definition of a security.
So Dogecoin is basically free from regulations then?
Well, not entirely. While it hasn't been classified as a security, it doesn't mean the SEC isn't watching. They're still monitoring the risks, particularly things like volatility and market manipulation. They've even issued warnings to investors about meme coins, urging caution and emphasizing the importance of understanding the risks.
That's a good thing though, right? Protecting investors.
Absolutely. But this whole lack of classification as a security, it's also opened up some interesting opportunities.
Like what?
Well, in 2024, a bunch of asset managers filed proposals for Dogecoin ETFs.
ETFs, so like exchange-traded funds.
Exactly. ETFs would allow investors to buy into Dogecoin through traditional financial markets just by buying shares that represent Dogecoin.
So we could see a Dogecoin ETF listed on like the New York Stock Exchange.
It's possible. The SEC is looking at those proposals right now, and while nothing's been approved yet, a lot of analysts think a Dogecoin ETF could be a reality in 2025. That would be a huge step towards making Dogecoin a more mainstream investment.
From meme coin to Wall Street, that's quite a journey.
Yeah.
But let's be real here. Does Dogecoin actually have what it takes to succeed in the long run? I mean, it's a fun story, but...
Dogecoin has defied expectations again and again. It's got a really passionate community. The Dogecoin Foundation is working hard, and it's got support from people like Elon Musk and even Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum. It's definitely got a chance. But there are challenges, for sure.
What are some of the challenges?
Well, one thing is, it doesn't really have a use beyond being a meme. It needs to prove that it can be more than just a fun, speculative asset. As the crypto market matures, investors are going to be looking for projects with real-world use cases and, actual technological innovation.
Right, they can't just rely on memes forever.
Exactly. Then there's the issue of its infinite supply. Every year, billions of new Dogecoins are created, which can put downward pressure on the price if demand doesn't keep up. And of course, there's the volatility. Dogecoin's price is still heavily influenced by social media and a few big holders. It can be a pretty risky investment.
So it's got a lot to prove. Do you think it can do it?
It's not impossible. It's already come so far. I think its success will depend on a few things. Its ability to actually evolve, develop some real-world use cases, and navigate this whole regulatory landscape, which is getting more and more complex.
It's the classic underdog story. But ultimately, Dogecoin's future, it comes down to more than just hype and speculation.
You got it. It needs to show that it can provide real value if it wants to go from being this meme-driven phenomenon to a sustainable digital currency that people actually use every day.
This has been a really fascinating look into Dogecoin. Its journey from a joke to this multi-billion-dollar asset. It really highlights the power of community, the influence of internet culture, and just how unpredictable the crypto market can be.
It's really made us rethink what value means in the digital age. Its story is a reminder that in crypto, things are always changing, always evolving.
So now let's turn to you, the listener. What are your thoughts on Dogecoin's wild ride? What stands out to you as the most interesting or important part of this deep dive?
It's really amazing to think about, Dogecoin, starting as a joke, and now it's got real-world uses and a market cap in the billions. It's a story about the power of online communities and internet culture, and shows just how unpredictable the crypto market can be. What do you think as we wrap up this deep dive on Dogecoin?
It's been a wild ride for sure. Dogecoin really makes you think differently about value, right? It throws all those traditional economic theories out the window. Value isn't always about scarcity or, practical use. Sometimes a shared belief, even in something like an internet meme, can actually make a difference in the financial world. It's like a social experiment, but in real life, with real money. And we're seeing this trend with other things too, not just Dogecoin. Meme coins, NFTs, social tokens, creator economies, it's all kind of blending together. The lines are getting blurry between entertainment, community, and finance.
It makes you wonder, is this way of creating value, this community-driven approach, is it going to stick around? Or is it just a fad? Is this like a big change in how we see value or just a temporary thing?
Dogecoin definitely has had an impact, though. It's pushed the boundaries, made people question things, and rethink what value means in this digital world we live in.
Yeah.
But beyond the financial side, Dogecoin has created a sense of community, made crypto feel more accessible.
For sure. Dogecoin created this welcoming space where people could connect, share ideas, and even support charities, right? Those early Dogecoin fundraising efforts, they're pretty amazing. They showed the power of working together and the positive spirit of that community.
Yeah, those early initiatives were really inspiring.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting, even with all the ups and downs, Dogecoin has managed to avoid, for the most part, the scandals and scams that have hit other cryptocurrencies. It's kept a certain authenticity, which I think is a big part of its appeal.
That's true. And that approachability, it's attracting new investors, especially people who are looking for alternatives to traditional finance. They're drawn to this idea of decentralization, the potential for financial inclusion, and the sense of belonging that Dogecoin offers.
That's kind of like a digital rebellion against the way things have always been done in finance. But even with its strengths, Dogecoin still has some big challenges ahead, right? If it wants to stay relevant in the long term. We talked about the volatility, the infinite supply, and the fact that it doesn't really have a clear use case beyond being a meme.
Those are definitely concerns. And we can't ignore regulations. Governments around the world are trying to figure out how to handle this whole crypto thing. It's changing so fast. So the question is, how can Dogecoin navigate this increasingly complex and potentially, hostile environment?
It's a good question. I mean, because Dogecoin is decentralized and doesn't have a central authority, it might be in a better position than some other crypto projects to deal with regulations. But it's not completely immune. Exchanges that list Dogecoin, businesses that accept its payment, even people who hold a lot of DOGE, they're all going to be affected by these regulations.
Yeah, we need regulations that are clear, consistent, and fair. Regulations that protect people but also allow for innovation. It's a balancing act, especially since crypto is still so new. If regulations are too strict, it could stifle the whole industry.
Right. So let's talk about the Dogecoin Foundation. What are your thoughts on the work they're doing? Do you think they can actually turn Dogecoin into a currency that people use for everyday transactions?
It's a big goal, no doubt, but I wouldn't count them out. They've made good progress. Focusing on tools like Dogebox to make it easier for businesses to accept Dogecoin payments, that's a smart move. They're also working on scalability and making transactions faster, which is super important if Dogecoin wants to compete with the established players.
It's like they're building the foundation for wider adoption. And it's not just them. There are lots of developers and entrepreneurs building things around Dogecoin, right? Wallets that integrate with social media, point-of-sale systems, even online games that use DOGE as in-game currency.
Yeah, Dogecoin is becoming more integrated into our digital lives, not just trading on exchanges. And, the more ways you can use Dogecoin, the more value it potentially has. That attracts new users and investors.
But let's talk about the big Dogecoin influencer, Elon Musk. You can't deny his impact. His tweets, his companies accepting Dogecoin, it's all made a huge difference. What do you think about his involvement? Good thing or bad thing for Dogecoin?
It's complicated, right? On the one hand, he's brought a lot of attention to Dogecoin. His tweets can move markets, and his belief in Dogecoin has definitely inspired people.
He's basically the unofficial Doge father, whether people like it or not.
Exactly. But there's a downside. Dogecoin's future is now tied to what Elon Musk does and says. If he were to suddenly lose interest or even say something negative about Dogecoin, it could have a huge negative impact.
So much power in the hands of one person.
It's a reminder that we have to be careful about investing based on what celebrities say. They're not financial advisors. Always do your own research.
Very true. But you can't deny, Elon Musk has played a big role in Dogecoin's success so far. He's made it seem more legitimate, opened up possibilities that no one would have imagined a few years ago.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens next. Will Tesla accept Dogecoin for more than just merchandise? Will we see Dogecoin on X? Who knows?
It's a crazy story, and it's still being written. But I think we can all agree Dogecoin's future depends on more than just Elon Musk.
Absolutely. It needs a strong community, ongoing development, and a clear vision for what it wants to be in the crypto world.
This has been a really amazing journey into the world of Dogecoin. We've talked about its humble beginnings as a meme, how it became this multi-billion-dollar asset, and the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. But ultimately, it's up to each person to decide what they think about Dogecoin and its place in the future of finance.
Dogecoin's story is all about the unpredictable nature of the crypto market and the amazing power of online communities. Whether it succeeds or fails in the long run, it's already had a huge impact.
So keep learning, keep exploring the world of cryptocurrency, stay informed, ask questions, and never stop being curious.